Continue talking about the selections in Photoshop, and this is really where things start separating in terms of a program from Lightroom or even editing in Camera Raw. These selection tools are really powerful and can be very specific. So let me just select the elliptical marquee tool, and as you might guess, this is going to draw a circle or an oval when you click and drag. And let's just zoom in by hitting Command plus on our keyboard to an actual circle in this painting. And what I'm going to do is just click and drag from the edge. I'm holding down the shift key while I do this so it creates a perfect circle. So I can really move this after I lay it down and fine-tune exactly what I'm selecting. So here again, I'm just going to do that one more time. If you ever want to deselect something that you select, hit Command D on your keyboard, and that'll just deselect really quickly. I'm going to hold down the Shift key again and click and drag. And once I let that go, it's going to be able to be repositioned here. And it's almost a perfect circle that was drawn into this painting or painted into this painting, and now I can select it here. Notice that there's also a feather amount that you are able to dial in, and it softens the edges of the selection. I'm going to hit Command C on my keyboard and then Command V, and if we go to our Move tool, we can see that we can create another circle within this painting. The interesting part about the layers panel is that if you wanted to make a copy of a layer, you can very easily by clicking and dragging to the plus button, and you can see that I made a copy of this, and I can keep doing that. This is something that is going to be really helpful for you to get to that 100 layer mark for this project too, is making all of these duplicates and creating textures from the duplicates. But this brings up a very important point in terms of selections and managing layers, is that here we have at least 4 different layers here, and if I'm on layer 1 copy 3, I can only move layer 1 copy 3 and I have to guess which actual circle I'm going to pick up when I use the Move tool. So for organizing your compositions with your collage, this is going to be a big problem. So I'll give you a shortcut here. If you hold down the Option button on your keyboard and click, you can see that it actually creates copies really immediately, and you don't have to actually click and drag in the layers panel. The other shortcut I wanted to show you is organizing all of that information. If you hit Command and click, you can see that it drags whatever you're clicking on, and it selects it in the layers panel simultaneously. So holding down the Command button, very easy to do to select the layer that you want to move. Holding down the Option button and clicking will actually allow you to make duplicate copies, so you can really get to that 100 mark very fast with this process. The other thing that we're thinking about in regards to our layers here is that we should have named this ball first before we made all of those copies, so that we can organize the layers panel here. And if ever you have the layers panel, especially when we're doing all these layers, you can just click and drag up so that you could see more. Just like selecting files inside of a Finder program, you'll be able to select multiple layers in the layers panel. So just like I've been doing, clicking individual layers here, if I click the topmost layer and I hold down the Shift key, and click the bottommost layer, which is ball, that selects all of these layers at the same time. If I click on the folder, it'll create a new group. So all of those layers are going to be under this folder that I just renamed called ball. So if I click on that, in the layers panel, I can move all of the balls simultaneously. So it's like I'm juggling in midair in this painting here. So this is really useful because you can categorize different sections of your composition within your collage, group them together, and then organize them afterwards. So this is a layers panel that I want you to be mindful of while you're constructing your collages, just so that you can keep everything organized. And I would go back in here and rename this ball 2, ball 3, ball 4, just so that you can keep everything organized. And that's what I'm going to be looking at when you're turning in your final file to be graded.